Hi, Kian. How are you?
Hi,
How
how
are
has
you
it
doing?
been?
All good. Yeah. How was your day?
Great. It's Halloween and it's been great, but I'm tired of Halloween parties, so I'm just staying home.
Okay, that's great. So, what I'm hoping to do today is I'm going to show you how you can use personalize,
Hmm.
and there's a case I'm going to show you how we can reach out to our list of MQLs, leads that we have in our CRM, and how to excite them around Halloween event or even Thanksgiving that is coming
Uh-huh.
next. So I'm going to show you an example. Hopefully there would be some interesting ideas, and at the same time, please ask me questions. So
Okay.
it's going to be a bit of everything. So please feel
Nice.
free to just ask me questions. Decided like to just open this recent webinar that we did a while ago. And if you like, and we had a number of people, like 207 attendees coming to that event.
Hmm.
And let's say it happened a month, 2 months before the Halloween,
Hmm.
and I wanted to use the opportunity to engage my audience and kind of bring them,
Gotcha. Yeah.
put a smile on their face, remind them of who we are, what we do, and
Hmm.
just kind of get that touch point, that awareness that we like a hey,
Yeah.
like a, that build that connection there.
Hmm.
So with that, if I go to the pro to see who are people attended the event, one thing we can do is we can export that data. So I use Apollo and
Hmm.
export all the attendees that who attended the event into a list. So and I sync that later with enriched data to my CRM.
Hmm.
And to give you context, when I'm talking about enriched data, so it looks like something like this. And like you have first name, last name. I remove some other dimensions to make it more kind of more private information. So like it's
Yeah, I understand. Yeah.
yeah, okay. So we have the first name, title, different parameters. So if you look at the data, like in the first page, I just have the like a face or maybe first name, last name. Tools like Apollo enabled me to add the company URL, LinkedIn
Uh-huh.
URL, so I can know which industry they are working, which company they are working, what's the skill sets, what's the title.
But one quick question.
Yeah,
Is this going to be like a follow-up message on this people because
it
we already had a
depends.
webinar?
The creativity is yours. Like let's say,
Uh-huh.
actually, this event happened a few days, like a couple of days ago,
Hmm.
and it's so close to Halloween, and I can use the opportunity to just send a recorded version of the event and
Hmm.
also
Which makes
bring them
sense
in
the most. Yeah.
conversation. But let's say it's a few months after, so the
Uh-huh.
follow up is a bit kind of a bit too
Yeah.
late for that. But you start fresh, but people care to know why you are reaching out to them, and you say,
Yeah, I
hey,
understand.
hey, first name. The reason I'm reaching out because you joined our webinar, and I thought like, and you will see what will happen. Let me kind of show you from the beginning. Like we have a personalized studio in Google Sheet. You already saw the next web version we have, but it's not released
Yeah.
yet. So hopefully there will be some exciting kind of announcement around that by the end of this month. But the layout of the software and in Google Sheet is as follows. So when it's logged in, you see your data on the left side, so you can import it, sync it from different sources, like from your HubSpot CRM, from Apollo, Zoom Info. If you're using some sources like lead forensic, like you have people are visiting your website, you can build that data. You can use intent data
But
and
it's just a CSV in the end, so like
CSV at the end. So at the end, we
everywhere
have a
it's the same.
structured data. So we have
Yeah.
each row is a contact, a lead
Yeah.
that we care about and we want to reach out to them. And but essentially, when we get the data, we just have the URL of the LinkedIn, we just have the website LinkedIn and company LinkedIn. That's the database. We have personalized. When you
Mhm.
log in for the first time, you need to go and set up your connections with HubSpot, for example, with OpenAI, your
Yeah, to
Apollo.
have the APIs and stuff. Yeah.
APIs, everything set up so you can
Yeah.
sync in your you can sync out the results. There's a course that the people can learn. I'm going to give you all the things you need
Mhm.
to know, but there's more details in the course you can take and the profile information. But essentially, when you come to the page, this is the area that the magic will happen. You start adding, we call it skill, but essentially there are function or model that we are building at
Yeah.
the top of ChatGPT or Google and or other language model that exists. And we have a number of tools that essentially we enhance ChatGPT to read the real data and
Hmm.
utilize that for personalization. So, so if I look at the people here, so if I hide these two, like a column, um, essentially what we have some data points about those people, but essentially when
So
you want to
little.
a little, the things that you have a lot, but at the same time a little. So
Yeah.
the fun thing is when you buy a data or get a data from different sources, they say we have 100 plus dimensions about those people. But at the end, you can't. It's like there are really kind of tiny information about the title. You want to write something about it. So you
Yeah.
need the context. And the thing is, you have their website, you have their LinkedIn profile, And essentially, there's one more step. A salesperson, someone should click on it and
And read the whole profile to
and
just know the
understand it.
person and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So
But that would take days if you have like 1,000 leads.
of course, yeah. So essentially, what we are going to show you is like there are a number of tools here. So some of them are more advanced, but we have LinkedIn summary, and we also have Web Scraper. We scrape their website, and we can kind of mimic the human. We can automate the process. So if I go back to here, so for each person, we have. So let me come here. For each person, we have a URL of the LinkedIn. We use one of our personalized tools, which is like, let's say LinkedIn enrichment. Uh, and and then when we read out the LinkedIn enrichment, we have a summary. So essentially, we have a summary here, and essentially what happened in these two steps are we are automating what only human can do, which is I click, go to the page, read different parts, and come up. Oh, I understand. Oh, this is the his or her background, and so on and so forth. So let me show you how that happens in personalized. So essentially, for the time saving, I did like for all of them, but let's say I delete a couple of them here, and then I'm going to show you how it works. So if I go,
Okay.
so think about this way. So I'm building a pieces of tiny functions that together mimic the way a salesperson works. So
Okay.
it's not like a one magical AI doing everything. So they're tiny AI models working together to automate the task essentially. As you see there, but we have the LinkedIn summary here. And so there, if I click on that, so you see there is a detail who that person is, what their role is. By the way, they are not the real attendees of that webinar. I'm trying to avoid kind of disclosing any
Oh, okay.
personal data, but there are real profiles. So
Okay.
essentially what we did already, we already have that understanding in our system. We captured that. It's not somewhere else. So we have it in our table. Next step is I'm going to use these two summaries of the company and the person, and I now want to write an email to Caleb, for example, or to
Okay.
Forrest. And so typically, if I want to do it, first step is I would go ChatGPT. Why I'm coming here? Because at the end, I need to come up with the best way to communicate my task to a language model. And because I know how to design a prompt, so I'm going to communicate with ChatGPT, say, hey, this is what I want to do. I'm going to show it to you and write this email for me. And I already prepared
A prompt.
a prompt, and
Uh-huh.
so I'm going to copy paste that for you.
Are we
So
gonna test this on ChatGPT right now?
we are going to test out the ChatGPT right
Okay.
now. So if I come here
I
and
like the
copy that,
subject. Nice.
if I come here and just enter, um, I know the email should look good. There is no subject; it's clean. There are two
Can you zoom
paragraphs.
in a little? I cannot see. Yeah,
Okay,
that's
okay.
good.
Now we can see it now. You see, there are elements of conversations about what we do, reminding that. At the
Yeah.
same time, the idea isn't
It's
like
a
oh,
mixed up of everything. Yeah.
mix up everything. The idea is you don't want to sell anything to that person. The idea is you want to reconnect,
Yeah.
and it's a relationship that you are building. At the same time, not between two human. That's actually very important. But sometimes your business people build relationship with a business with as a it has an entity, it has a character for them. So
hmm
what I'm saying is. So if they think about personalized in the future, the envision for personalized is we want to be a peer. We want to be someone as a business that bring a smile, we bring productivity. We have the kind of we communicate our culture to them through
Yeah,
the
of
way we
course.
communicate with them. So
hmm
so as you see here, I like it or not, I can repeat that. There are a couple of things I can do to improve it. So one thing is, hey, I like it, but it's too casual or it's too long, or I want longer or shorter. So that comes the prompt. So I
A
didn't.
quick question. Let
Yeah,
me just in your prompt, you have information about Sam. I
yeah,
can see that.
and I'm going to show it to
And
you. Yeah, okay.
you have like if you want to just break the prompt, you have information about Sam, you
Yeah.
have information about Personalize, and you have a pitch.
So there's
It,
okay, that's beautiful. So like this is what I copy pasted from the LinkedIn summary. This is
uh-huh.
what I copy pasted from the LinkedIn summary, but the company summary.
Uh-huh.
So
Okay.
I just provided that information
Okay.
to the model and said, hey, write an email to Sam from company from our company Personalize.
Uh-huh.
I'm sending this email in around Halloween. Use the Halloween as the theme
Uh-huh.
for the email. Actually, I fixed that later in the other one email for the
Uh-huh.
email. Sam is added to our CRM when he came to one of our webinars on generative
Uh-huh.
AI for personalizing email at scale. And so I have details here, and
Yeah.
I wanted to write it for me. And as you
Okay.
see, I'm limited to 220 words. I want to make sure
hmm
that like There are some instructions. So I want to make sure that like there are 2 paragraphs, easy to read. I
So
want to
it's a
use
full prompt for a perfect email.
That's good. That's good observation. So yes, this is a prompt. I didn't spend too much of time to optimize it because there is always opportunity to improve it. So sometimes you add humor, but it's not that polite or professional. So you need to balance it
Yeah.
so you need to provide some examples and so on and so forth. And sometimes if you have very open-ended kind of subject, it might write in different ways. Sometimes you want to provide some guideline, what to cover in the first paragraph, what to cover in the second paragraph.
Yeah.
But I just write like a version that is easy to skim during the
Yeah, I
training, like
understand.
and but there's no end, so you can add more
Yeah,
kind
of
of
course.
instruction to that. So when I'm running it, because already I know it would remove the subject because I don't want to have that either, because I already have it prepared for me to sync it. I do just want to do a personalization based on Sam's background. I want to add humor, so that's exactly what like I wanted to see.
We should just do another video like this for only prompting because
So
that
yeah,
area is like a huge black hole that you can just dive in and never get out. I mean, it's
uh,
so deep.
actually, I think I've done a kind of sessions on prompt engineering. I'm doing another one at the end of this
Yeah.
month,
Oh yeah,
and
we
yeah,
have that huge
yeah,
workshop.
we have the workshop at the end
Yeah,
December. Prompt engineering is the future. Like if you needed to know internet, you have to know prompt engineering. I'm not saying that like you have to know at a very technical level. It's the kind of good understanding of how
it's
to
like
come in.
exactly how we know internet right now. Like you
Yeah,
can search on Google, you can search on
yeah.
ChatGPT, you can just
And
like do
if we
that.
observe ourselves the way we Google, there
Hmm.
are nuances of how to talk with a search engine that we learn over time. And
Exactly.
again, you don't need to be a data scientist or understanding how to work search engine works, but you need to get that general understanding. So that's what I'm
Yeah.
talking about. So I'm not. It's not a scary topic. Honestly, it can be very kind of simple
It's
talking, but
interesting. I mean, it's the
yeah.
most interesting topic you can talk about right now.
So I have that. I have an objective. I have some data points. In the beginning,
Hmm.
my data point, I didn't have too much about those people. So I use some external tools to use some external data sources to enrich
Hmm.
my data. I want to know what they do on their website. I want to check their LinkedIn profile, understand what the education they have, where they're working, and so on and so forth. Build that like a rich, like a text of content, like a textual context about those people. So I
Hmm.
can use it, feed that to ChatGPT through prompt. Now I guide the model to write the email for me. Oh, it's good. So I have an email that I want.
But it's
Kind of,
only one.
it's only one. So yeah, the thing is, if the idea is writing one email at a time is one skill. One of the things that we talk in our software is we have what we call dynamic prompt, and
Hmm.
what it means is we don't have these variables hard coded for us, and it's changed from one person to another,
Yeah.
and how to do that. So I'm going to show you how we create what we call a skill
Nice.
and it would be best spoke to your organization. It could be best spoke to
Hmm.
you, and you might have a variety of versions of that. And we call it
Hmm.
Halloween. Actually, I call it a special. I have a reason for that. A special event email to our marketing contacts.
Okay.
Uh, so they're already in our CRM, and we want to reach out to them. I know I have any reason kind of why I'm reaching out to them and so on and so forth. But now I need to put what we call dynamic prompt. This is not what we can put there, but we need to translate what we have here. And we did some
Uh-huh.
exercise. So with ChatGPT, we start to see consistently good quality results here. So we
Okay.
are ready to move there. So what essential I need
But
to
how?
do? Okay. So what essential we need to do is we replace these text content into columns. We call them call one.
Uh-huh.
In the web application that's coming, it's a human readable. You can even mention it's a personal LinkedIn
Yeah.
profile. But
That's
for
exactly like how we talk to Google. Like
yeah,
what you mentioned,
so the
the
next
new
version,
version
yeah,
is the perfect. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. So
Okay.
the next version that we are releasing is a human readable. But for now, we are talking about columns of value. So in a Halloween,
Hmm.
we have column for first name, we have a column for LinkedIn profile. I already did that preparation. So if I
Uh-huh.
come at the top, and I just
Uh-huh.
I already like, have 4 columns, and I put it here as a um,
Info.
info.
Yeah.
So the column one is the first name. The column two is the LinkedIn summary. Column
Hmm.
three is a web summary, and column four is the event. Interestingly, we don't. I bit generalize the model. I still
Hmm.
talk about that specific event but
Yeah.
even I can make it a column five, which event I want to talk about when I'm reaching out to that person. Like what's the reason, what's the topic I want to talk about. So let's say that's hard coded for now, but essentially this is the prompt that I can pass to ChatGPT. You see how small it is now. So because
Yeah.
if I come here about column one is the first name.
Yeah.
Column two is the LinkedIn summary. Column one's company. That will be Sam's
Uh-huh.
company and column three. So essentially, for every of those rows, it will be dynamically be replaced by
Exactly.
the
Yeah.
exact value of that row. And
Yeah.
write an email to column one, which is Sam. We saw like
The first name, anything.
Forrest,
Yeah.
Caleb, and then we have more information here. And actually, this one should be also column one. So I'm going to fix it when I get there.
Hmm.
So if I copy this and come here and paste it here, that one also should be column one. So
Okay.
and we just focus on the prompt, and you're ready to go. Let's test it. Okay. So and actually, I'm going to create another Thanksgiving one here as well. So if I come for
Okay.
the model, and the first column A is the first name, column E is the LinkedIn summary, column H is the company summary, and what else? We have event
Halloween.
name, and we have Halloween, which is a column J, and I want to write the email in column K, and essentially I can put two. Um, there's a maybe I put maybe five of them, or let's say 10
Hmm.
of them, make it more interesting. I use GPT 2.5 because ChatGPT 4 is let's do GPT 4 because it takes a bit more time because this model is it's a bit slower than other models, but
Hmm.
the quality is like you have someone with a 2 years of
Yeah.
experience or 5 years of experience. Suddenly GPT-4 is like someone with 10 years of experience of copywriting.
It's like
Uh,
GPT-3, 3.5 is like the salesperson that calls you and like asks you to come
yeah,
buy this thing. But GPT-4 is the person who you go to the table to close the deal. It's like two different
essential.
persons.
But
Yeah.
the things like more junior, senior, like I would say like
Yeah.
they are again. I would say GPT-5 or other models coming to the market. Very likely they would outperform even what we have
Yeah, of
today.
course.
But
And that
but
would be fascinating.
that would be fascinating. Yeah.
Like
The
you remember we used to like work with GPT-3 and we were like, wow, this is
yeah
great. The thing that it's doing is super, super, super. But like when we got GPT-4, we were like, nah, let's just not work with
yeah.
GPT-3 anymore. GPT-4 is better.
Okay, we have the results. Um, so let's look at the results we have, and I would make it larger. The other thing is we just generated 4 or 5 of them. Just we did that. I don't know. It takes a minute because again, GPT-4 at the moment is slower, but it should take maybe 10 to 20 seconds. But for some reasons, in the last few days we have that got a slow performance. But let's say here. Hey, let's do it together. I hope this email didn't
Mhm.
spook you from your deep dive into economics and econometric. Okay, so it talks about his background. It talks about the company.
Bring now. Okay. Hold on. Since you attended that giant fair, we remember how well you raved about. Gosh, okay. Oh, I love the British act sometimes. Like
Yeah.
GPT-4 does this sometimes, adds British.
So this one is like a happy Halloween, falling into frightening piece of junk mail folder, like a modern day ghost story. Again, it comes with the connections there. Now it talks about Forrest's role in growth marketing, talking about let's see if there's anything like interesting. But again, it's very beautifully written. Talks about something about that person and just kind of build that relationship with people.
And it
Again,
has all the things that you mentioned on your prompt. It's a
yeah,
little bit humoristic, but
yeah,
has all the things about their jobs and the title and like whatever they do. The personalization is deep, both on the personal side and
yeah.
on the business side.
And as you see it, it is just continuous. One of the things that will happen, especially in the second version, that one of the scalability we have, we push a
Hmm.
button and just go in a couple of hours, it generates all of that notify you about, okay, it's ready to go, and
Hmm.
you can download it. But at the moment, we can see a few of those examples. And the same we can do with Thanksgiving because of it's a process. So I might kind of ask you to test it. Actually, I can share this model code with you. So if you check the model yourself, you can tweak it. And essentially, there are a lot of things that to be improved. So as I mentioned, so I just used Halloween there. But one of the like intentional error I had was I wanted to fix this subject because this also should be dynamic about that
Hmm.
specific company, a specific event. And you might change the tone based on the event. If it's a New Year, if it's a Thanksgiving, it's a more family tone versus okay, like again, the model will take care of a lot of those details, but sometimes you want to guide it. So I would pass the model number to you can import it in your personalize and you can play with different scenarios. But essentially,
Okay.
what I wanted to communicate here is actually you see the model generated until the 10 of these emails, and it's a now we have time. I would go and generate another model, which is uh, a was it DH or
We don't actually have time. You need
Don't?
to go. You need to go
Okay,
in 10
okay, okay.
minutes.
Okay, so yeah, sometimes I'm
You have a
just excited.
meeting,
Yeah,
yes.
I do. So
We can do something. We can
yeah,
have like we can wrap this up right here and have a second part
we can do the
with
second
this.
part. Yeah,
Yeah,
we
we can
can do
just
the second
continue this.
part, and I can just
So
wrap.
we're done with the Halloween. We
We're
can do
done.
the Thanksgiving in
Yeah.
in the next session. Yeah.
Okay, so we can do the Thanksgiving in the next session, and I think we are good for now. Yeah.
Yeah.
So let
Thank
me
you.
thank you. So we will be in touch later. Cheers.